we're going to get into some Josh Simmons film from today, but also Matt Nagy did talk about Josh Simmons. So here's Matt Nagy talk about Josh Simmons, and we get into the Josh Simmons talk. And I can't wait to get into the Josh Simmons highlights from the past few days. So let's hear Matt Nagy talk about Josh Simmons.
Yeah.
It's a mindset, and it's been good.
Where have you seen a glimpse? What excites you most about Josh Simmons?
The glimpse of athleticism is rare. It's special. I like his mental right now, where he's at mentally. We all see what goes on out here in practice, but then we take it to walkthroughs inside. He's so laser focused and understanding from Coach Heck on maybe there's a mistake or a mental where his assignment-wise he doesn't go to the right spot, so we repeat it and go through it. He cannot have enough of those. Physically, he's super talented. It's the mental side, and then it's the communication part with the left guard and the rest of the O-line. But I really like where he's at. He's a true pro right now, and this is just the beginning.
So, Jay, before we get into the highlights, so you can kind of talk about what we're seeing from Josh Simmons, when you hear Matt Nagy talk about him from that standpoint, where it's not just obviously the play, it is what it is, right? That's the film; it speaks for itself. But like the mental aspect, and he's calling him he's a pro already, at the mouth of our offensive coordinator. What does that tell you about where Josh Simmons stands as of right now on July 28th?
Well, I think it just tells me that, when he talks about his mental, I mean, it's vastly important, especially playing that position, to know what you're doing. And so what he's reiterating to everybody else, though, too, is like, hey, look, we know he's talented. We know physically he has all the gifts that you need to be successful in the league. This aspect of it is what he needs to really actually to corral, right? So it's just not the focus, but it's also to understanding the assignments on what he needs to do. It's about the communication with the guys around him for him to also be successful. So we have to think about now, we have Josh Simmons, who's a young guy, a rookie, but he also has a young guy beside him in Sumaite, so Kingsley. So also, too, those two guys got to be on the same page with the communication. Now, Kingsley's been here, okay? Josh is still learning this part of it. And this thing is a process. It is. So this reminds me, this guy is a rookie. It's going to take some time to get to where he needs to be to play in the NFL and play effectively. But all the gifts that he has, man, that's a great place to start, because those are the things that you really don't have to develop. He has that already, okay? He has a foundation for him to be successful. Now it's getting all the other stuff down, all the calls, the communication, the consistency, and all those different things to be successful. So, but for that, Nagy just nailed everything as far as like just letting him know, like, hey, man, the focus is what we need. For him to get the reps, that's what we want. When he makes a mistake, that's fine, because this thing is a process. And so with that, man, we just got to be patient with it. He's going to be fine. But I did say this, Marcus. I said this before he got here. I said, I think he will be one of the best guys to, kind of come in and play ball. He could be a generational talent, really, because he's got that already about him.
What's crazy is like, and obviously I was going by him being the starting left tackle through the first 2 weeks of training camp so far. Like he's the one going after the ones, and that, like, I hope that continues, and I hope he's our guy for week 1, because right now it's trending in that direction. But for me, it's like we didn't think this was gonna happen. Yes, we thought there was a possibility that we could see Josh Simmons, but it was more like, all right, let's just kind of bank on the fact that he might be someone that will be next year and be a starting left tackle. And right out the gate, it looks like he's going to be our guy to start the season on 2025. And like when they do the redo of the draft, and of course we're just going by what we've seen in the first 2 weeks, but every year they always do the redo of the draft. He's going to be a guy a top 5 guy, and everyone knew he was a top 5 talent. And the fact that now it's like, oh, he's starting right out the gate, and had this injury prognosis that we know now that they knew 3 months ago, 4 months ago. We wouldn't sniff Josh Simmons. We had to mortgage our future to try to trade up to get him. We got him at 32. We traded back to get him. So it's just, the whole thing is just kind of wild. And we're blessed to have this guy. And from what we see from the highlights so far, I cannot wait till we actually get into game action, man.
Yeah, well, the thing is, and we were patient with this, and so we didn't want to, tell our hand. We knew this is the guy that we wanted. And I said this before. I said, look, it's either for me, first round, Josh Simmons a bust, period. That was it, point blank. And so I'm glad those guys from the scouting department, Beach and all those guys knew exactly what it is that they wanted. They seen this guy. All he needed to pass was a medical, right? We've seen this almost with Trey Smith. Trey Smith had to pass the medical. We got him in the 6th round. Now we have one of the best young guards, in the business. With Trey Smith, we just signed him to a major deal. But see, Josh Simmons, the same thing. They did the due diligence to see who this guy was, how he was going to be able to respond, what his progress has been as far as like with his knee. And now what they're seeing is, look, they're just being patient with this. And so I think with us getting him at 32, man, I do believe we got the steal of the draft, seriously, in the 1st round. So I guess we'll just have to wait and see, man. But my money's on that we did, seriously.
Yeah, it's just to see him out there. I'm not knocking the past left tackles we've had in the Mahomes era, but like, there's a little bit of a difference, JD. Like, just see, and that's obviously we're talking about a franchise, a kind of a bookend left tackle guy you can set and forget. We haven't really had a set and forget guy, so I'm not really knocking the other guys. I just think I think you and I are the kind of same wavelength where he is the franchise left tackle, which we haven't had a franchise guy. We've had guys like, he's not bad. Yeah, he has his quirks, but like, it's plug and play. We can go with Orlando Brown Jr. Yes, he's got his, his cons, but now it's like, no, we have a guy, and if you watch and we'll get into his highlights, just seeing him out there, man, it's like, that's a dude. And we haven't had a dude at that left tackle spot in years.
Yeah. I mean, and look, and like you said, this is not devaluing anybody else or disparagingly saying anything about other guys, but the only thing that Josh Simmons lacked wanted to know if his knee was okay. That was it. That was it. No other question about him working hard, him being in shape, all those different things. It was none of that. It was always about, man, is his knee okay? How is he coming about? And for them, and this is what I believed also too, Marcus, I think it was practical to go ahead and take a chance on a guy that even if he was like, look, if he has to sit for the first year, we're fine with that. Why? Because we got Patrick Mahomes for a number of years. We know with a guy like this, if he is healthy and we know that physically he can do the job, hey, that's an easy decision and choice to make. And so they made it. And so what we do see right now is, and you'll show the highlights, he has amazing feet. That sucker is so powerful. We heard Travis Kelce talk about when he was just in walkthrough, how he was just holding Travis. Travis like, yo, this is a scout. This is a man. This is what this is. He's coming out of college, but this joker right here is strong. And so Jason Kelce was just talking about some of the things that he heard about, the things that he's seen. Somebody had said there, like was saying, they're shocked that he don't have anything on his knee. So the healing process has been working. And just, hey, knock on wood, he just stays entirely healthy. If he does that, man, shoot, we're going to be fine. We're going to be absolutely fine.
And that's his comment here from JCP. It's a testament to our training staff. The injury Simmons is coming back from his health and injury. It is a health and injury. And yes, the training staff, they just got him a couple months ago, right? And like they've been doing what they've been doing with him. But let's give him some credit too, whereas, because to go from that transition from college to the NFL, we're like, he's probably went to a million different trainers, million different doctors, like doing his own work to get him to a point where he is in that, like, okay, like, hey, the Chiefs staff can like take him to that next level, the next phase of recovery. So like, I give him credit too, man. That shows you dedication and, a guy who wanted to get back on the field, and he was doing that with his own will, and I got to give him credit for that as well.
Absolutely. And so, like you said, whatever staff he was working with before, he was making progress, because if he wasn't, then it was like, okay, is his knee okay? We're going to take him. But he was putting in the work, man, to get himself ready to get drafted. And so, hey, like I said before, that's just a pat on the back that we had to give Veach and those guys on being patient and saying, look, this guy's going to be okay. He's going to be fine. And like Joey says, Simmons stay healthy, he will be a top left tackle. No question about it. I agree with that 1,000%. So, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. It's a beautiful thing. And so, JD, let's get to some offensive line today. And also, let's just celebrate the moment right now that we're going to have to talk about celebrating watching offensive line highlights, because like that's usually not something like people want to watch, but like everyone's like, oh man, you got to watch the Josh Simmons highlights, and it's like usually you want to see bombs and Xavier Worthy, or we'll get to that too. But the fact that we're leading the show with Josh Simmons highlights, hey, we love the trenches. We're going to celebrate the trenches.
Hey, Marcus, man, listen, we put our eggs in the basket for this guy, right? We did. So we this ought to lead the show. It ought to. So, and the thing is, he didn't disappoint. Everything I see, he didn't disappoint. So go ahead, man. Let's throw some videos on and stuff like that. I love seeing great the tackle play. So
Before we get
Blazing
that Blazing,
Bobby, good to see you. Appreciate you, Blazing Bobby. There you go. I didn't know where the bell was last time. I was just like, ding, 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 ding. So Blazing Bobby, there you go, brother. Appreciate it.
Josh looks like He-Man and his footwork is unreal. I'm trying to temper expectations, but it's hard. Yeah, well, we're gonna go into this highlights right now. So bring those expectations, bring all of it, because we're gonna get into it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, here we go, JD. Here is Josh Simmons. So I started off with that, just him pre-practice doing his thing.
Jeez.
Wow. This is the highlight of the day, throwing gelati.
Get out of here.
That's stout, man. Oh, man, who's bringing the heat too on that?
Yeah. Wow. Look at that. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Yeah, I had to put that back in there.
I'll tell you what, man. So I'll speak about this a little bit. Can you rewind it somewhat?
It's on a loop. So where
Okay.
do you want me to go to?
So what we're saying here, with everybody, for a guy of his size and his height, for a guy myself being 6'6", it's hard not to, when you back up, it's hard not to get high and get vertical when you're doing that. Okay, especially when somebody's running at you. The way he's able to sit his hips and stay as low as he is off of this, that's impressive. That's absolutely impressive. The quickness of his feet are going back there. Like there's no wasted movement whatsoever. Look at that. I mean, when I coach offensive tackles and offensive line, and I always told them, anytime that you're doing this pass set, your feet's got to be fast. It's like, okay, and you're doing that in the blocking, but also too in the pass set. They tell you your foot shouldn't raise no more than almost half a foot off the ground. This right here, man, is just this is a natural ability. He's been taught well, but also too, a lot of it is just where he's such an athlete. This is easy for him. He's able to sink his hips, without really being coached like that. You almost got to teach guys, sink your hips, stay low, and guys push you back. He is sitting over here, I wouldn't even say absorbing the blow. He's giving it out. They can't even get through him. That's the point. Same thing right here.
Manhandler right there, man.
Yeah. I mean, he's covering a guy up right here. Like, you got a lane to run through. He's finishing and whatnot. I mean, he's coming off quick, eyes on the guy, the way he's striking him. Same thing like right here. Somebody got on his last side, but this is textbook. This is what a veteran tackle does in the NFL. So even if a guy's on his outside, like half his body, which is always the hardest thing to kind of recover from, he's so strong that you're still not going to get around it. The one he was just a single guy when you showed him by himself, man, you see his arm and that sucker's man right here, that his trap, tricep, this sucker's tricep, man, looked like a daggone horse kicked it. I mean, this dude, he's got all the tools. All the physical tools is what you want. Look at that. I mean, his feet, man, are flawless. They're absolutely flawless. I can't reiterate that enough. I mean, look how he's just sitting there. Look at that. Look at the quickness that he has and just ready to engage. This guy right here is not even getting close to sacking Pat. Same thing with Gelati. I mean, Gelati's coming out pretty fast. This is a pretty good rush by him, but at a certain point, it's like, what do you do? He can't do anything because Josh is so strong. Look at this, man. I mean, this is Menahu. We're saying this ain't top lip. This is Charles Menahu, okay? And I know at a certain point, these guys are kind of taking care of each other at a certain, you know what I'm saying? I keep going. It's like, okay, right here is where it's done. And I'm going to tell you what, okay? Here's the truth of it. Menahu's learning who he is. And guess what? There's going to be some times Menahu's going to get him. There will be. It's what happens. But just to see this off the bat, that he's already there, like from his athletic ability, athleticism, to get in front of him and then engage with him by punch, man, he's going to win more than he gets beat. That's for daggone sure. But I'm telling you, man, the way that he's able to move his feet as quick as he's moving it, no wasted movement. He's not behind as far as like in his pass set. He's not trying to catch up. That's tough to do, man. That is tough to do with guys that's just coming into the NFL. And I'm telling you, Marcus, this is exactly what I saw coming out of the college. I didn't see anybody that had this type of ability from the tackles that came out. Now, I'm not taking anything from Will Campbell. Will Campbell was a hell of a tackle. I watched him, but I guarantee if you start showing Will Campbell in camp, I guarantee there's some times he's getting beat. There's just the struggle. Look at those hands. They're just ready. He's sitting down naturally. I want people to understand how hard that is. That's amazing. That is amazing to see. It really is.
Of all the clips, like what's probably the one that stands out the most to you, that kind of shows you the most of his talent? Because I know everyone's talking about the Gelati play because he just tosses them, but of all the ones you see, which is the one that kind of like says like so much about his play to you?
I mean, I don't think you could just name one. It's just a accumulation of it, because that's what you do is, like Nagy was sitting there saying, you evaluate these guys when you know, in film study after everything is over, all said and done. So this is just clips. We don't know how he looked for the rest of the practice. I'll get there and evaluate it even more to see, like, okay, you know, is it always consistent? But right here, like you see, this is a great one right there. That right there, because he was able to stay square with this guy the entire time. When he engaged, there's only time he needed to turn. And I mean, this is right here. Look at that. Look at that arm. The coach is like, dad, God, that's good. But he's just working with him. It's just natural. His feet, the inside that he's kicking back, he's not over, you know, stepping. That's another thing that you could do a tackle when you're doing a pass protection. It's overstepping and stepping up underneath yourself. His left foot can step underneath himself. There's none of that, man. He's smooth as butter. This is what it looks like. Pono Kawhi says, Jason, he says, are there certain drills, or concepts Josh needs to be steadfast at to avoid injuries? You know, Pono, as linemen, you're always taught, anytime that you're engaged with guys, always move your feet, especially when you're blocking guys. That I would tell him, hey, man, watch guys around your legs. And so never get stiff-legged at any point when you're blocking. That's what he has to watch, because guys fall over and stuff like that when you're pushing and when you're throwing guys. That's another. So he's throwing, you know, Gelati, but if somebody's throwing somebody into him, like let's say Kingsley's beating somebody, he throws somebody, he could throw him into that knee. So you just got to watch, especially like in here. See this right there? You see how Drew and him are. That's a good right there. King Suma's doing. That's a good job by him too. Them are two big jokers right there on that side, man. I tell you what, hey, that left side is gonna be something, Marcus. They're gonna be a problem.
They may be young and inexperienced, but man, they are big dudes.
They are big dudes. I'm telling you, that's what you needed. You needed some bullies out there. So Trey, Creed, Kingsley, Simmons, and then now we see Jalen Moore and what's his name just got back, Jawan too. We got some bullies on the offensive line. Look at that. Look, Pacheco's running over there, and Pacheco's in the way. He's like, let me get out of the way of these elephants over here. He ain't want none of that. He won't look. He'll get hurt trying to mess with him. So he's just out there for support. But that's a good move, man, for him. I want to see Gelati get better. For me, man, this is textbook. That's hard, man. I'm telling you, for a guy that young to keep his weight down, center of gravity that low. You usually see guys get up high. Look at that. He stays low the whole time. And I seen this. This was one I seen when he was at Ohio State, Marcus. It's the same thing. I'm like, this dude's, his level is always staying low. That's where you produce power. And a joker like that, 6'5", 6'6", that's tough to do. Believe me, I did plenty of pass protection, plenty with the best. And so these guys going to work it. I'm glad he's going against Menahu and Gelati and those guys because they're going to give him everything that he needs to get ready. So you got to appreciate that too. So,
yeah, and it works both ways, right? Like he's helping them get ready because, from what we've seen already, he's already a stout left tackle. He's helping them get ready, and then also on the other end, it's helping him see, different types of DNs and edge rushers to go against.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. Pono said, Andy and Nagy need to avoid plays around Josh where guys can fall into his legs. This is football. You ain't going to be able to avoid it. It's just going to happen sometimes. He just needs to know that he needs to keep his feet and legs moving and stay bent. He understands that. He knows. He's been playing ball long enough, man. It didn't happen plenty of times. So.
Yeah. And another thing, too, I think I saw someone comment on it based on some of the left tackles we've had over the last few years.
Yeah.
He's well proportioned. He doesn't have. We made jokes in the past, but some of the guys, being candy apples with stick legs. He doesn't have. He's well built top to bottom, and that's something that stands out just based on some of the other body types we've had at the left tackle spot, and that really stands out in these clips with him and Pads and on this.
Oh yeah. Stan Lewis said, "Watch some fast feet turn." Yeah, man. The fast feet is what you need. The thing is. It seems like it's natural. He's gotten it down pat, and it's not like his feet up high. That's another thing too. Like as low as your feet can be, and churn. That's what you want to be able to do because it's easy to redirect and do all those different things, move to different positions to block guys. That's amazing, man. So Gary Holland says, "Hey JD, is Josh Simmons like Willie Roaf?" Hey man, listen. Roaf is if you watch Roaf play, Roaf had his athleticism, no question about it. He was a big dude that was scary good with his feet. Same thing, quiet and whatnot. Josh, he has that similarities to him. He does. And it's the athleticism that you see from a big guy like that is so rare. This is a rare talent that I'm telling you folks from a guy like this. Now, I know my brother sit there and said he wanted to temper expectations, but you can be glad on seeing what you see, right? You just be, hey man, be happy with it. Be happy with what you had to deal with. This is a beautiful thing, man, to watch. JP said Willie Roaf big shoes to fill. Yeah, he ain't trying to fill the shoes. We want Josh Simmons to be Josh Simmons. Willie Roaf is a Hall of Famer for a reason. He was one of the best in the business ever. And I said, man, if we got Simmons to ever get to that point, shoot, have him.
It is interesting though, because when you look at Josh Simmons, you think, oh no, he's so much more slighter than Roaf. And maybe the pads was bigger because Roaf looked enormous, but they're the same height, and Roaf only weighed 9 more pounds than Josh Simmons, 320 to 311. So they're very similar, but Roaf to me just looked like a giant compared to Josh Simmons. You think just because the way the pads were, JD?
You could say that, man. But Roaf was a big guy.
Huge.
When he would spread out, you could tell that the whole side over there was like, you ain't getting past that. You're not. So Roaf, man, he just monster, absolute monster. That's what's so scary about it, because Roaf, with his weight, man, was so fast. He was so big. He could get out and run with anybody and get up to the second level. Those are the attributes I see in Josh. I do. So we could temper that as far as being say Willie Roaf. We don't want we just want him to be starting left tackle. And this right here absolutely is encouraging.
Yeah, would love to get Willie on the show to talk about this. Not talk about the comparison because that's ridiculous, but talk about what he's seen from Josh Simmons so far.
Oh yeah, it looked good. It looked good right there. So So notice Josh puts his head down instead of his head looking up at the sky like all of the guys in the past several years. No guys look up at the sky. I think, he keeps his head down. It keeps him low for sure. But I like you just immediately for bigger guys, JCP 4,000. It's just a natural tendency to rise up, especially when you running backwards, and especially when you got somebody coming forward. That's hard because you don't know. You almost had to catch a guy. But that right there, man, that's good stuff right there. Look at that! Look at that space! Look at that space right there. That last one. I want to see some guys try some inside moves on him. Let's see how that's going to look. So, I think
the fact that Pat's not going to have to worry about his blind side as much as he's had been, like just escaping, just feeling the pressure. I mean, that's just forget about all the weapons we're going to have the skill players. But if we have a guy who can be back there to block and actually Pat doesn't have to escape and leave the pocket as fast as he has been. I mean, that's going to open up things so much more. I mean, you could have Justin Watson out there. You could have other guys out there. It doesn't matter who his receivers are. He's going to have time to actually do his thing, and that's exciting in itself.
Yeah, absolutely, no question about it. It changes things, dramatically changes things. So I love that right there. The guys are taking care of each other as he should, man. The guys are congratulating him because he looks good, man. He fits right into what we do. Perfect. So,
yeah, we had a question here from Bradley Sexton. Are you surprised that Josh Simmons has played so well at training camp and against our top pass rushers on the team?
No, not at all. He's Bradley, and the reality is, like I said before, there's going to be some times he might get beat. Sometimes he's still trying to figure out twist and communication and whatnot. But as far as him playing well against no. It's going to be like that, I think, all year, to be honest with you. So it's not going to be shocking at all. This is a level of talent. Just call it what it is. So,
yeah. It's now that Josh Simmons was talking about tackles a little bit, and we will probably get into this more on Wednesday just to talk about the other side. But are you surprised that there is the Jalen Moore, Juwan Taylor rotation on the other side, where a lot of people thought that was going to be, you were going to see more of the Jalen Moore rotation on the left side? You're seeing that more so on the right side now with Juwan Taylor. Are you surprised by that?
No, Juwan's been hurt. He started on PUP for a reason. So I mean, that's natural. I don't see anything wrong with that. The good thing is, because Jalen Moore is a starting tackle in the league too, man. We good. We good, Marcus. Shoot. Before we scratching the head, we looking around like, who's next? You start looking around, and the guys you're looking at, them jokers start looking around too. They start turning their head like, I don't know, coach, you looking at me? So, no, we don't have to worry about that, man. We got some really good guys, man. Wanya Morris is there too. Ethan Driscoll. When I get there, I'm gonna start evaluating guys, man, and checking them out to really see what guys are doing. And I can only do that while I'm there. Clips are great, but then when I get to get in and get into my coach's mode and see everything, man, it's gonna be a whole different thing right there. So,
agreed. Yeah, and like Laura Zinser says, I'm fired up because this is the beginning for Simmons. He will get better. And yeah, it's like we're talking about. There's a guy who is coming off a bad injury, which he's probably. I hope he's close to 100%, but he's probably not. It's also a mental thing, JD, as we've talked about before. He may be clear as far as obviously he's clear to practice and whatnot, but he's also got the mental aspect too, and that usually can take some players some time to feel like, hey, like I am right. I know I'm right. I can play and go out and ball out there. And he's looking like this, where a guy's probably not at peak health right now. Yeah. I mean, this is crazy to see how good he looks out there with a guy who's like not 100% probably, but like, man, can you just wait to that?
Well, I think when he was talking about that mental part, what Nagy was speaking of, is it's just not picking up, the entire offense and the blocking schemes, the protection, the run game, and the calls. It's also the part of him knowing that my knee is okay to do all these things, right? He didn't have a sleeve on, which is just shocking to me. I mean, I would just wear a sleeve, and then, even if my knee was okay, I still wear one. But I think in his head, he's defeated that already. I think he's like telling himself, like, man, you're fine. And it had to probably be burrowed into his head, reiterated, and him doing that type of work mentally to say, I'm ready to do this thing. And so when we're hearing reports of him, in OTAs, like, hey, man, he's going to start. I'm like, geez, okay. So it's very encouraging, man, just to see this. But even with this, Marcus, you still had to monitor to make sure, like, you don't wear it out. Don't keep taking chances. And maybe they will. Maybe, you can't, obviously, it's just like, hey, man, at some point, you got to do this, right? Why not do it now? So I love this. I absolutely love this, man, because this is just showing us the good things to come. And like you were talking about, when Pat is sitting back here, and we'll talk about a little bit of that when Nagy was sitting there talking about Pat and some of the things that they've been doing. It makes a lot of sense because you needed to protect 15. You needed to. And this was the time to do it. This is the time to do and get a generational talent like a Josh Simmons, right? And I'm not afraid to say it. Like I said, man, when I was thinking of evaluating this guy, I said, shoot, he's the guy for me. He's a guy. All about his other. I said, I don't know what to do with Oregon and everybody else y'all keep talking about over here. My evaluation, when I'm seeing this guy work Ohio State, it is clear to me who's the best tackle in this draft. Medically, if he gets past it, we good.
Yeah, and arguably, I remember we were talking, we were arguably saying he could be the best player in this draft. And it's like, you could potentially get one of the best players in this draft and talent in this draft. At 32, you take him. And we were even talking about contemplating trading up to get a guy like that. Because, I mean, a talent like that doesn't come around so often. Like, and where we are at every year going to be 29 to 32, well, you're never going to get a talent like that at 29 to 32 unless you trade up. But in this case, in this year, we're lucky that circumstances kind of went the right way for us.
Yeah. I agree with that. So, Sparkle Sports Card, what's going on from down there, down under? What's up, Sparkle Sports Card? Was sitting there saying, hold on, I think the key for Josh readiness in training camp is the work he was doing there. Reed said Josh was doing before camp started. Yeah, for sure. When you're being evaluated for one of the top guys, and the only question is your medical, he knew he had to throw all that into that. Throw all your focus and your effort and power into getting ready. That was it, Marcus. He just needed to get himself ready. He needed to get his knee to the place where he's sitting there saying, I don't want teams to pass on me because I'm not ready. And he slayed every bit of that. He did. So, yeah, brother. Yes, sir.
We got 71. We got a good one in 71, man. And I can't wait to see this continue. And I hope we can see highlights like this every day. And every day we do see this, we will talk about it on the show because let's celebrate finding our left tackle that we've been wanting so badly.
Hey, man, you made the evaluation. I'm seeing people just coming late to the party. I was there. I was on it. I was just like, hey, man, this is easy for me. Sure. And he's showing everything like that I saw in college, every single thing, man. Like, for a guy to stay that low, golly, and drop your hips, stay like that too.
Yeah.
It's rarity.
It's nuts. Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out the best clips from Chief Concerns. And if you prefer to listen to the show, subscribe and follow us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and anywhere else you get your podcasts.